Kaikan took me by surprise, coming to my attention via a Reddit post, reminding me of a late 80s, early 90s era shmup that can throttle into bullet hell. Having just launched on Steam for the asking price of an energy drink, it was an immediate buy. Some of you may already be familiar with the game as it was released in 2013, but let me say, especially of this final version, Kaikan is the real deal, bearing an attitude to its action. You have 6 ships, each with a unique shot type that conveys power and presence, some so potent that they could bring bosses down in seconds. And that isn't a con either, when at the expense of damage, you gain versatility. Firing shots that guard you on all sides, or hone in on a target, once focused, gaining another use. It feels incredible. My favorite ship happens to be the strongest, using a weird shot type that looks like it's propelling smoke. It's the fastest of all the ships, making micro-dodging difficult, and despite it being able to slow down with its focused shot, it limits your firing range like Ketsui. I like that you may feel untouchable, but that it doesn't guarantee a no-miss bonus at the end of a stage. That said, in difficulty you could say Kaikan is on the easier side of the spectrum. Sustain a hit with the bomb in stock, it'll be consumed as a shield, and keep gathering points. It will regenerate. I came close to seeing the true last boss on my second playthrough. It's not to discount the challenge of weaving within and around patterns. Kaikan does have its tricky sections, but being fun is more its focus. Yet an area where I struggle is where I see even the most hardcore returning. Score. Enemies drop medals that can be absorbed for points, drawing to you when the fire button is released. Gather enough of them, and their grade augments, scaling from G to A. However, miss just one, and the grade plummets. Will be accompanied by a penalty of medals needed to be able to move up again. With the maelstrom of bullets that awaits in the game's 5 stages, taking pauses to vacuum isn't an easy practice. I've had instances where I've gone from the max to the nadir in seconds. It's addictive seeing the rank bar on the left build, as much as seeing how long you can preserve it. Not everyone plays for score, so topping a leaderboard may not hold much interest for some of you. Still, there are other reasons to aim for medals. Bombs become stronger the higher the rank, releasing their own bonus medals, bringing you closer to a score-based extend. You'll want to deploy often, since the energy to regenerate them is the medal. Once I realized that's what the bottom bar corresponds to, I began bombing away, especially on bosses. Man, they make for the game's most memorable moments. It's not so much the fight themselves, as the right ship can turbo overkill them, but the energy of the encounter, the speed, the rotations, the medals released prior to their explosion. It's a rush. Their patterns aren't bad either. I love how they make an entrance, the fight cued to the music for an incendiary effect. Speaking of, the soundtrack is all metal. The inclusion isn't novel for shmups, but what is to me are the subgenres used. Traditional, power, symphonic, thrash, and melodic death metal. It's mostly heard in the riffs, but dude, the fact the sound is so varied, wow. But that said, the soundtrack isn't bad, complementing the aggressive pulse of Kaikan, like the overall sound. I just don't find them too memorable, and in metal I am biased to more dissonance and aggression. On that note, let's delve into the cons. It's all about refinement. The UI leaves much to be desired. The main option is the game engine menu, and those belonging to Kaikan are too simple, feeling devoid. You can't select the difficulty. There is a local but no online leaderboard, and some stages, chiefly those final, have elements that don't call much attention to themselves, making for cheap feeling deaths. When it comes down to the game itself though, I don't have any negative to attribute. The flow, the feel, the foundation is too good. It keeps me coming back. Plus, I suspect those sore points may be addressed in time now that Kaikan is a commercial game. On the subject, Kaikan was made with STG Builder, which recently saw release on Steam as Shooting Game Builder. To see names like Mekaritz, Androdunos 2, Grace Counter, and Grand Cross Renovation affiliated, advertising that you can make your own shmup with no programming required, there's something about the prospect that's so exciting. Of course, creating the next beloved shmup won't just manifest, but the notion you have access to the tools makes you want to aspire. Kaikan is a game I can see making best of shmup lists at the end of the year. Without question, I would say check it out, but this time it is different from normal. I began by voicing that the game was released in 2013, but I didn't mention for free. This still holds true, and you can obtain a copy of it over at itch.io, which I'll have linked in the description. There are several differences from the Steam version, more raw in places, but the core experience is there. What surprised me is that there are aspects of it I prefer, like the music, which is more in the vein of what I expect for a shmup. Please don't overlook the Steam version though, as it is the definitive version. Not only is the game inexpensive, but the quality of the experience makes it a steal. Better yet, you'll be showing support for a genre that doesn't see much of it. That's it for this one. Thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good one.